हवा आ गया, वो सब चीज़ें बहुत मज़ा आता था। कंटिन्यूटी ऐसी रखते जैसा मेरा था वो।
What they want to do, what they want to achieve, ऐसा है। तो ये तो आप कंटिन्यू करो।
Hi, welcome, adab, namaskar, namaskaram and sat sri akal. We are here at the second episode of Cynthi'ans Edupreneur, a talk with the genius. Today our guest is a person who has completed her MCA from Tamil Nadu, 6 years of IT industry experience as a software tester and developer, and later on changed herself, or I should say progressed towards being an academician. She has a lot of experience as a senior lecturer in MD College, Vivek College and KC College. Currently, she is the department head at the University Department of Information Technology, University of Mumbai. Let's welcome the most intelligent person which I have ever met, because she is also my department head, Dr. Srivarammangai Ramanujam. Ma'am, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Wahid.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Ma'am, always, being your student also, I always wanted to ask, how do you carry such a charisma? Means, seen you in such stress situations, so much of tensions, and since last 12 years, I think you are handling the department?
Yeah, I joined here in 2008.
2008.
Yes,
so, I guess it's more than 12 years, 14, 15 years around.
Yes.
And I have seen the department growing like anything. I have seen the staff, I have seen the quality of education improving under you. How is this happening, ma'am? Means, what are the leadership tips which you would like to give me and also the audience?
First of all, maybe there are some inborn qualities which you may be having. Everybody has that. Second is that by learning by motivation, inspired by others. So I do have, right from my father I can say, my parents I can say, my mother also, and also my teachers, and also my mentors, my principals who were there in other colleges. Some of them were very fantastic, and some of the things like documentation, systematic planning, strategic planning, all these things I learned from my principals, of course. So this is learning throughout your lifetime. That is how. And I feel that, and even my college days, we as a student, when we experience, when we are as a student, we would like to see a teacher very brisk enough, energetic enough, and that energy passes on to the students.
Exactly.
So I want to be that positive energy to the students. So I try to keep up myself with that. What I don't know whether that is a charisma which I have, but then that is what I try to be more positive.
Correct. The positivity which you have, I have seen since long. And now even the students over here at the Department of University of Mumbai, IT department I should mention, students have always got good opportunities. Even we as a student, we were getting good opportunity. But when we are in that era, when we are in that zone as a student, do you really think, ma'am, we cash on the opportunity or we miss some things?
We cannot generalize on all the students, of course, there are exceptions. But if you see in the later part of the years, and especially after COVID, during COVID and after COVID, we can say, is that students are not using the opportunities properly. There were in our time, or the generation after ours, even in your generation also, I can say that most of the students were eagerly waiting for such opportunities. And they were very glad when the department or the college is doing so much of very active workshops and seminars for the students, in the progress of the students. But that kind of a seriousness, even if we are conducting even a free of charge of seminar, there is no monetary part involved. You have to come, sit, listen, and then just have a conversation with the speaker. Even then, for that, the mentality of, maybe I think so, because of this fast moving technology era, people are not able to sit even for an hour of time. Right. That's what I think so.
So maybe it's happening that they want to achieve everything fast, quick, just like Swiggy and Zomato is coming at our doorstep in just 30 minutes or 15 minutes, and we want everything to be made that way.
Yes, instantly they want to get everything. As you rightly pointed about the examples that you have given, and instantly they are getting all the information over the internet also.
Right.
So, but then I have given very clearly, it is information that they are getting.
Right.
Okay, they are not getting the knowledge.
Not knowledge.
So, to transform the information to the knowledge, you have to come to educational institutions where quality teaching and quality learning will take place.
Correct. I would like to mention this. There is a difference between information and education. Google provides you information. What you create out of that information, that defines your knowledge. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, right.
So, ma'am, this generation or maybe even the upcoming generations, what difference, major difference that you find in these people when it comes to creating something? See, learning, they are very fast. They might even score well.
Right.
Examination, academicians' point of view, they are very much fast. They understand the concept quickly. But what about creating something? Are they very much towards creating, or they are like, okay, ठीक है, ये पढ़ लिया, अब बस हो गया?
I can say 50-50 percentage in that. There are some students who are approaching us to have some kind of project exhibitions, conducting some different kind of unique programs for the department, which this year part 1 students are very active in that case, whereas part 2 students are more focused on the academics. I can say I am not degrading them. So they are more focused on the academics, whereas part 1 is a mix of both.
Right.
So they some of the students have come to us, approached me and then asking me, we want to do this, we want to do that. So that is 50 percentage. The remaining 50 percentage, as you said, that they want to complete and degree also. See, in industry today, they are not going only by the degree.
Exactly. Right.
They are looking at your skill set.
Right.
The talents that you are having and how you are performing, especially not for a descriptive question or a one word question answer in the interviews. They are asking for a problem, how you try to solve the problem. You may not solve a problem in an interview because you are not an experienced person, but what your approach to solving the problem only the interviewers are looking at.
Okay.
So if that ability is there, then they are absorbing the students.
Correct.
So students are now there are students who are having these capabilities, so they are doing the degrees only for the sake of the degree. The other skills they may be self-developing, or they may be attending some kind of a courses, and they are focusing on their career.
Correct. So, ma'am, you mean to say that the corporate perspective has also changed?
Yes.
First, initially, maybe 10 years before, 15 years before, degree was the first thing which they used to look.
Right.
But currently, degree is important as it was, but also the skill set of a person is very much required. Also, whatever things they are learning, are they creating something out of it? Do the corporate look into this thing?
I don't know, because I have not directly attended any corporate interviews, but then we have called, especially people like you, we are calling to conduct such kind of interviews for our students. How we want to get the practical experience of how corporate is conducting interviews. But what I have heard from my industry friends is that for them it is like the solution for their business. Whether there is a creativity, yes, creativity will play a role. If already there is a solution and you are also going with the same kind of a business, similar kind of a business, then in compete in this world, how unique yours will be.
Okay.
There plays that innovative ideas have to come from the students.
Right.
Say for example, we are having so many of mobile apps today for the same purposes. So much of e-commerce sites are there. All of them are competing with each other. So each company will be seeing to that how my user interface, my UX UI design will be much more better, how my services, online services will be better, dynamically how we can bring that, the customer experience, personalizing that. So if the students can have that innovative idea of bringing that kind of innovative idea for their portals, e-commerce portals, then definitely see, initially the industry may not be knowing how much they are. In one interview, they will not be able to grasp all these things.
Right.
But during the time of training or during the time of their work experience, they may try to retain such kind of students.
Correct. So
That may be a method of assessment for them to retaining them.
So, ma'am, see, we do 4 years of education as an engineer, or even 3 years, now 4 years for a bachelor graduate also. After that, 2 years of masters. And again, as you said, in the training process of the company, at that time, the student or the learner actually understand what their skill sets are. What if there is a way that this skill sets could be understood a bit earlier? Can this be done?
There is now, I can say, like in the new NEP 2020, we are I think it is a central government policy and the state governments are following. We are following it. We are going to implement that. There is on-job training. It is compulsory. It is a compulsory component which is coming under undergraduation as well as post-graduation also. For undergraduation, it is in the 4th year, and for post-graduation, it is in the part 1, that is first year.
First year itself.
First year itself. So that is compulsory, and there is credit points given to that. 4 credit points are given to that. So this on-job training is what I think what will fulfill what you are asking for.
People from BCom, people from BA, everyone is interested working in the IT field because IT is giving good money, basically. So, what about a person doing BCom and then joining a company, getting trained over there and getting to a position? A person from IT, learning IT, getting into the same company, learning the same things into the training and getting the same job. Now, a BCom person and an IT person is sitting together. Now they are working on a project. What will be the outlook of an IT person, I would like to ask you? If he is working with a BCom person, does that affect him or her when he's working? And sometimes a question arises that what did I do? I could have done something much easier and land the same job, because this is happening.
No, but then it has raised a kind of a research project proposal for me. Actually, this we have to do a survey.
Yes.
Really, we have to interview the students who are doing job along with BComs, commerce students or art students in the same field, IT students or computer science students. For that matter, really it is a matter of doing a research and then finding out the outcomes of that. So at present I will not be knowing, but definitely one thing is there. Definitely they will be thinking, then why should I learn this much throughout my MSc IT when I could have. But then one thing which I wanted to tell is commerce is not that easy.
I know, I understand.
That is a totally different line. There also you have to learn. IT means not something big and commerce is something low. No, it is not like that.
Correct.
So, but the situation is like that. Even any multidisciplinary. So even commerce students can also come to IT industry. Art students can also come to IT industry. Science students can also, engineering students can also come to IT industry. That is the thing which is prevailing. So in that case, students may say that I have done IT, but I am at par with commerce students. That thought may come. It may be there. Really, we need to work on that. So, where are we going? Where are we moving ahead with?
Right. Because as an industry expert, what I have observed since last 10 years is this is happening. And some or the other way, some people are really performing from BCom or BA. They are performing well as compared to IT. Because IT, we have subjective things too much. They are learning too many things, but they are not specialized into one thing. And when a person comes from BCom or any other stream, example, BCom is just an example which I am giving. Any other stream, they just get into the specialization of the thing and they become the master of it. And these people have too much of knowledge of many things, but they are not specialized. So this thing is happening. So can this multidisciplinary thing, as you mentioned before, can this help in achieving the specialization of things? Like multidisciplinary, as I would like to mention that ma'am is also a trained classical dancer. Okay, she is a professional dancer. So ma'am, this being a dancer and also being an IT expert, has this helped you in your career? And again, the first question which I had, that this multidisciplinary approach, can it help the students?
See, when you talked a little bit earlier about creativity, the creativity will comes definitely from the art side. Okay, normally we know. Okay, so when you want to say, when I want to bring something new to my department, new activities to be implemented in the department. Then this creative skills which I have learned from Bharatanatyam comes into picture. That is one thing. Second is that the emotional feeling that you will get through arts. So there is a connect which will be, if I am very a strict teacher and I am not saying like those who are not learned art will be very strict and rude. I am not saying so. But this will help you to be more at emotional side. Look at the emotional side, because we have an emotional attachment towards the story, the lyrics, the story, the tune, the music that is behind going on in a dance form.
Correct.
Okay, so that is what we express on the stage.
Correct.
So similarly we get that connect between the students. So that's what I feel so. And when you are talking about multidisciplinary, one is again coming to the point of IT students and other students coming to the same field. In that way, when we say that they are learning too many things in IT, whereas they are focusing on only a particular skill, when we look at that, when we say that it is IT specialization, so we don't know whether the student will be taking up this line within IT or this line within IT or this line within IT. So we have to give all this in bowls, different bowls. Some of them will be a mandatory paper, some of them will be specialization. That's why today you can see that not all the papers are mandatory. They can choose as electives.
Right.
And nowadays it is specialized degrees are also coming. Our department is an example. We are coming up with MSc IT in artificial intelligence.
Wow.
MSc IT in cloud computing. MSc IT in security.
Nice.
So those students will be much more focusing on the security line, cloud line, artificial intelligence line. But when you look at the undergraduate students, BSc IT or general MSc IT, we are giving them the options as electives, but then compulsory some basic concepts which are to be clear. Now I can even see an advantage of these students over the other students, because other students, okay, they have done a BCom or a MCom and they now know that Python is very well on demand in industry, and data science with Python, one course they are doing, and they are joining as a data scientist.
Correct.
Yeah, they are getting job, they are doing the similar job. But after some times, when you want to develop with newer technology in the science,
Advanced technology
in the science, if you are not knowing the basic concepts of operating system, how will you develop a new operating system? How will you come up with a new version of operating system?
Correct.
If you are not knowing the software engineering techniques, how will you develop with like agile technology we are talking about later on? Earlier we were using waterfall model and other models. So many models have come into picture now. How these models are coming unless you understand the basic concepts of software engineering?
Correct.
So this conceptual knowledge is definitely going to play a role. When you want to, like big companies like research oriented companies like Microsoft is having a research and development department, IBM is having, Oracle is having, Cisco is having, Amazon is having, okay, and they are more now going, Google is having in cloud and other things. But there is an R&D department which is continuously doing for development. We are only looking at the application side. We are not looking at the R&D side. And R&D side, who are the students who are actually working? Just try to focus there.
Right.
Unless the conceptual knowledge is clear, you will not be able to enter into R&D.
Correct. So basically this is a learning lesson for all those students, IT or non-IT. First understand the basic knowledge of whatever you're doing. Even if you're going for a specialized course, you have to understand the basics of IT, basics of software development. Ma'am, you mentioned about research.
Yes.
Many companies are doing research, but what we see is our students are not into research at all. Research is not only about doing a PhD, but even if a student is in school or maybe in higher education, they are given a specific topic, they just by heart those topic and they write it in the exam. They come out with good marks and we claim them as intelligent. This kind of intelligence is creating an atmosphere where they are not ready to learn new things because of not having the habit of research. Research is not only about succeeding, it is also about failure.
Right, of course.
So they are not facing this thing since young age. So how can this be tackled, ma'am?
That is why if you look at, we have a research component also in our undergraduation and post-graduation now.
Wow.
In the new NEP structure.
NEP is National Education Policy.
Yes, National Education Policy 2020, which is getting implemented slowly in all the states of India. And in Maharashtra, now in University of Mumbai, we are trying to implement now in NEP2020. So in that, if you can see in the undergraduation, we talked about the 4 years program, right? So in 4 years program, we have as BA honors, BSc honors,
correct?
BCom honors.
Okay.
The degree is known as.
Okay.
If the 3 years they are completing, and there is a multiple entry and exit, you should know that. The student enrolling in the first year of UG, after first year, they will be getting a certificate. They can exit. And they can come after some time.
And the first year degree would be claimed as a diploma.
Certificate. They will get a certificate.
Okay.
After completion of second year, they get a diploma.
Diploma. Okay.
After third year, they get a degree.
Okay.
And there is fourth year, they get a degree honors.
Honors. So all these 4 years are optional for the person. Means after the
Optional
first
in the
year.
sense, yeah. So what do you want to do? Whether you want to go only up to certificate or you want to complete your degree.
Okay.
A degree or degree with honors.
Okay.
And there is one more option in the 4 years honors program, honors with research.
Wow. Okay.
So there the research component is coming into picture.
Nice.
Now when you talked about 4 years program, the 4 years program students need not do 2 years of MSc.
I was going to come to that.
We have a 1 year MSc now coming up.
Because
1 year MSc, MA, MCom.
Wow. Because he's already investing 4 years in this.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
So that is a 1 year MSc.
Okay.
And the student, if they want, it can be continued with PhD because already there is a research component.
Exactly. So the government and the UGC has tried to club everything together and help the student to get into the research module as soon as possible.
Yes.
Ma'am, but again the question comes in, since in 11th standard or 12th standard, now I know you handle department from college, like higher education, but still I'll ask you this question. After 10th standard, when we get into 11th, and 11th science maybe, if I may say, it's completely a different field which we feel. If you belong to a state government school, if you're studying NCERT and CBSE, it's a bit, continuity is a good as compared to the state board. Does this affect the student in the long run when they are in the college?
For this question, I will purely say that, yeah, to a certain extent, the type of school also matters. To an extent, the attitude of the student also matters.
Type of school and attitude of the student.
Yeah.
No one can blame each other.
Because I have seen when I was in KC College. So you know that is a city side college.
Right.
So it is a high cutoff in BSc IT. So we used to get ICSE students, CBSE students, but we also used to get state board students. And the state board students have already got, when they are seeing the peers, there is a peer pressure for them. Because ICSE might have learnt all those concepts long back in their school curriculum itself, where a state board might not have done. But then they are hardworking. I have seen students who are coming off from the far off places, not from the city, but from the suburban. Students used to come from Virar to KC College. And those students, I forgot the name of the students also, I'm sorry for that. But then I still remember their faces. So they did in state board, they came up from Virar, 2 to 3 students, friends. They joined in BSc IT in KC College and they performed very well.
Nice. Okay.
So, but then again attitude. Sometimes the students become so inferior, depressed, and they will just throw away a setback. But some of them say that why don't we do? We will hard work, and then they go ahead. So this is again depends upon the attitude of the students.
Attitude of the students is very much important here.
Yes.
So last 2 questions I'll ask. One thing is, everyone wants to work for themselves today. 9 to 5 job criteria is getting a bit, they are like, it's like, no, we want to work for ourselves. So that is entrepreneurship comes into the picture. Do we have this entrepreneurial mindset of the students? Because entrepreneurship is not only about doing business, it is also about having a mindset. Even if you're working 9 to 5, you can be an entrepreneur in the exact company. It doesn't mean that you are holding a shareholder, but it means that you are working so well that you are just like a free person, free bird. Do we have this kind of mindset, ma'am?
We need to really create that mindsets. I can say that some of them may be having, as all exceptions are there, but most of them, I think that we have to create that mentality. One thing which I would like to say here is, usually when people are working in any organization with a different kind of challenges, human interventions challenges and the process challenges, the system challenges, so many things will be there. Always I have learned from elders as that don't give your heart to your institution or the organization. Give your heart to your work. You love your work. So basically we are into that organization because of that work.
Correct.
So this mentality of you liking the work which you are doing automatically will progress the organization.
Exactly.
So it is not like you liking the organization. Of course we will be proud to be whichever the organization we are. That is a different thing. But then tomorrow if you are going from one organization jumping in a progress in a promotion to another organization, it means that you are not hating the other organization.
Right.
You are liking, still you are liking that organization which gave you the progress.
Right.
But then you should not feel it to the heart. Some emotionally, if I am going to sit there, like, I like this organization, I don't want a promotion, I don't want to go up. No, it should not be that way. So you can progress in your life. You are actually basically liking the work that you are doing.
Correct.
The passion.
Correct.
That is the right word, I think.
Correct.
So.
Yes.
So the work is your passion, the interest what you are having. So whatever may be the work, it may be.
Right. So this mindset of growing has to be developed still.
Yes, developed.
Still. Last question, ma'am. Everyone speaks about success. No one speaks about failure. But failure is an part of life which everyone has to taste.
Right.
How can a student from young age be ready to learn this thing or be ready to fail? Or is failure such a big thing that we are so fearful of that?
Very right question at the right moment. This has to be first, rather than the students, I think we need to have sessions for the other stakeholders, the parents and the educational institutions, we have to say. Absolutely. And the society, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have been always telling the students, bring first rank, second rank, third rank. It is not the rank that matters. Have we seen that, have you understood that concept? What is the need of life? If I am having 10 out of 10, after having 10 out of 10, I am not able to say even a one table of mathematics by heart.
Right.
Okay. So we are not saying, we have to encourage them whatever they are learning. And we have to create a mentality. Suppose there is a failure, you are not able to learn or you are not able to grasp, there is nothing wrong in that. Because not all of them are alike. Each one is having a different. For example, if you are taking me, I don't know what you are feeling, you people are having, what others are having. To myself, what I have self-assessed, I am a hard-working person, but I am not the so-called brilliant person, which I have self-analyzed. So what I thought is, what is my strength? Hard work. Okay, I need 4 times I have to read a thing to understand it. Okay, let me read 4 times.
Let me read it. Correct.
Why should I, everybody think me or my parents never did that. So say that within 1 time you have to achieve that. So this 1 time starts with first rank and gold medalist. You have to go into IIT and IIMs only. You have to go to the top universities in the world. And where are they?
Correct. Absolutely. Whatever organization a student gets into, इट डजंट मैटर कि अगर आप बहुत बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जा रहे हो या आप एक नॉर्मल कॉलेज जा रहे हो, एट दी एंड आपकी कैपेसिटी डिफाइन करती है कि आप क्या सीखना चाहते हैं, आप में क्या एटीट्यूड है टूवर्ड्स लर्निंग. मैम, today's session was a great learning session for building a great nation. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I would say it's very difficult to interview your own principal. She has been my principal for almost 4 years and it's very difficult, believe me. डर लगता है, वो सब याद आता है पीछे से, वो जो डांट सुने हैं हमने, हम सब खड़े रह के मस्ती करते थे. मैम, it was a great learning experience that we had here under you. And I really wish that all the students coming out from this institute achieve great in their life and we build a great nation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.